AWS machine learning specialty question one. A large mobile network operating company is building a machine learning model to predict customers who are likely to unsubscribe from the service. The company plans to offer an incentive for these customers as the cost of churn is far greater than the cost of the incentive. The model produces the following confusion matrix after evaluating on a test data set of 100 customers. Based on the model evaluation results, why is this a viable model for production? So there's a few things here. Now we're looking at these answers here. We're dealing with two terms here, accuracy and precision. So let's unpack that, and this will help us how to interpret this like confusion matrix. So precision is when we're concerned with the positives. We don't care about the negatives. In this case, a positive would be the customer churns, right? So to interpret this matrix, right, this is our prediction for positives. So the model successfully predicted 10 correctly, but it incorrectly identified 4. So to calculate the precision, right, it would be 10 over the total, which would be 10 plus 4, right, which is 10 over 14, which is about 71%, okay? So instantly with this number, right, we can identify that B and D are actually incorrect because it's 71%, not 86%, okay? So we can ignore those. So now we can isolate the answer to be either A or C. Okay, so let's determine accuracy. So accuracy is when you're concerned with both positives and negatives. So a negative in this case would be the customer does not churn. So how to calculate this would be to add all the correctly identified, the 10. So the numerator would be 10 plus the 76. So 10 plus 76. So basically, the model correctly identified 10 as yes and correctly identified 76 as no. Then you take all the numbers, the total. So it'd be 10 plus the 4 plus the 10 plus the 76. And if you stick that into a calculator, you will get 86%. Okay. So we know it's either A or C here. Then the next part is the cost incurred by the company as a result of false negatives is less than false positives, or the cost incurred by the company as a result of false positives is less than the negatives. Okay. So looking back to this line saying the company plans to offer an incentive, the cost of churn is greater than the cost of the incentive. Therefore, so a false positive would be that we thought they were going to churn, but they didn't. But a false negative would be we thought they weren't going to churn, but they did. So therefore, a false positive, which means that we thought they were going to churn, but they didn't, is in fact less than if we thought they weren't going to churn, but they did. So the answer to this case has to be C. Okay. Just as an additional note, the only thing to note is that this data set is quite unbalanced. As you can see, there are quite a significant amount of negatives compared to positives. So that's something to consider as well. Accuracy may not be the best way to identify the model because of this huge imbalance here. But that information isn't necessary to answer this particular question.